Banter fam, what's happening? Guys, two altcoins, Ethereum and Solana. Inside of these altcoins, you have ecosystems. Therefore, you start to see these ecosystems are waking up. You had a Uni pump yesterday, a Lido pump, Optimism pump. You had a Jito, Solana, and Ethereum, baby. Guys, again, today we have CPI. CPI is going to be a catalyst of two things. CPI likes to do a V-shaped, fast little dump off when the news comes out, right? And we are sitting, what, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours away from that happening, right? But again, what you have is you have a higher high on Sol and a higher high on ETH. And the important thing to know about this is they both erased a very important wall. The one that has been sitting at now for the last couple of days, the last 2-3 weeks, both of them have now broken those walls, which means we need to prepare for a short squeeze. Therefore, right now, you see the whole market's kind of halted going into the news, right? Now, what that means is if we have a quick V shape, right, liquidity is sitting lower down and getting ready to push up, right? Or it's the catalyst straight away if we start to rocket. So I said to you guys yesterday, if we start dumping into CPI, right, we've seen this before. We get a shakeout and a rip-off, right? If we pump into CPI, that's when they throw a little trap. So I want you to get ready today for buys. Dogecoin has broken a big resistance. AVAX has broken a big resistance. Are you guys ready for entries? Are you ready for gains again, right? So let's get tuned in. I'm excited because my damn Solana trade is ripping, right? It's looking great. Fantastic. I've been working my ass off for like 2 weeks to get the entry. And it's starting to look strong. So guys, today I got new altcoins as well. And I have us getting ready for the altcoin short squeeze. Oh, one more thing, just to excite you one more time before we start the show, right? Just to excite you one more time before we start the show. Bitcoin dominance has broken the wedge to the downside. Therefore, the small pullback that you are seeing right now is coming straight into sexy zones. And when the bounce happens, the dominance gonna go down, right? Therefore, altcoins are getting ready for the pop. No more wasting that time. While my intro plays, you smash the like button and let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Fam, branch out, hit the subscribe button. Guys, who's long, who's short? I want to see it. 74% of people are bullish. Who's long, who's short? And if you are long, what tokens are you long? Right? In the stream, as I go, when I see your tokens, I'll pop them up so I can help you guys just understand where's important levels. Is this breaking out? You know, what is kind of looking weaker and stronger? Because again, what you are starting to see is as Bitcoin starts to slow down, right? Okay, we never know. Bitcoin might be close to the high of the cycle. We never know. I have a target of 180,000. But if this is near the topish sort of area for Bitcoin, the altcoins are going to send. At any point now, altcoins are going to rocket. And yet again, what is going to happen is they're going to move in ecosystems. So what's amazing about this is I love that the market is returning back to what I know it as. Right? It went a little bit weird for like a year or two. It really did. But we are truly seeing the money move, right? We're seeing it move to ETH. We're seeing it now large caps, right? We're seeing Solana wake up. We're seeing a lot of these tokens start to move, and they're starting to move in order, which is fantastic. And remember, inside of these ecosystems, it gives you an idea of where to be trading right now. You have your long-term bags in, right? That you got to sit and just print money, right? Over the next couple of months, next couple of years, right? When it comes to your spot, I think we've been buying spot now for like 3 months, right? So the spot entries are in, right? When it comes to trading, you know right now, ETH and Solana ecosystem is where you're going to find your trades. It is where the strength is right now and where we are looking at not only strength for when it comes to a short period of time. Guys, this is high time frame breaks. Look at ETH to Bitcoin. We spoke about this 2 days back, and look at that response in the last day and a half. Look at the last 36 hours, how ETH just ripped to the Bitcoin pairing, right? And now we're sitting at the top. And you know what I like about CPI? CPI has always been in favor of altcoins. It's actually quite weird that when we go into the CPI readings, we usually have dominance going up. And a lot of times when we exit the CPI, we actually have dominance coming down. So CPI has actually been a strong trigger just to trigger altcoins for a midterm kind of move. And again, if you zoom out here and you kind of look at what the pattern is forming on ETH, the next preparation move here is because this is very clearly a bull flag that has been formed on ETH. And again, when I'm speaking about ETH, I am speaking about altcoins, right? Altcoins, the king of alts is back, right? And we needed the king of alts. For those who talk crap about ETH for so long, I don't think you guys understand how important ETH is in the altcoin ecosystem. When it comes to alt seasons and it comes to these big rallies, ETH is a big player to get money out of Bitcoin, right? To actually spread the liquidity. Otherwise, just hogging. You know, it's like having a group of friends and the one guy's rich and the other guys are poor, right? Come on. Like, we got to start getting all the boys rich. All the boys need Lambos, right? All the girls need Lambos. This is how it works, okay? So yet again, if you look at where ETH is here, it is preparing for another rip over here, right? And if I look at the resistances, not only is it a rip to over there midterm, you zoom the hell out and you understand that ETH has a damn long way to go on the high time frames. That, my friends, is the ETH on the weekly chart to Bitcoin, right? This bad boy, even being bearish on Ethereum, okay, is us pumping over here. That's being bearish, right? That's not even saying that this thing is in a channel. We could see from bottom to top to bottom to top to this, right? This, what I say here, is being bearish on ETH, saying, hey, it's actually not as strong as what it's ever been before, right? And that is sitting 103% away on outperformance of Bitcoin, right? I still expect Bitcoin to even go up, right, in the same time over here. So again, this is good signs. This is good signs that we're seeing on the short time frame, okay? And it's higher time frame plays here too. I was looking at Solana to Bitcoin, right? Look at this chart, right? Look at where this chart, and this chart's actually very bullish. If you look at this on the weekly, right, you could see that we are now sitting at the very sexy zones of the 618s. And I want to show you this over here. We know this is a incredibly strong tool when it comes to the pullbacks of pullbacks within tokens and healthy zones. And you could see that we are just hovering beautifully here on the 618, right? So still indicating to us that the Solana to Bitcoin chart on the weekly is still sitting in a beautiful uptrend. And the next leg could easily look something like that. Now, just back to the tops, we must not forget that Bitcoin is way more higher value than what it's been, for a very long time, right? And you look at just the outperformance to the top here, not even the break of the highs yet, is 100%. So I'm expecting at any point Solana and ETH itself to 100% growth over Bitcoin, right? Plus, again, when we go here to the high time frames when it comes to the Bitcoin chart, okay, Bitcoin itself, I am expecting upside. And let's go over here. Bitcoin, I don't think that this all-time high was just to imagine breaking 108,000 just to go to 111. I don't think so, right? The bulls just don't live like that. That's not how they live. They've never been like that, and they ain't going to change, right? Bulls are greedy. It's just how it is. You got a bunch of frothy people sitting in crypto, and don't think that the institutions aren't frothy either. They FOMOs. They are literally degens, right? They're just bigger degens, but they're degens, right? There's no doubt about it. So again, I'm still preparing at any point for a nice little pop from Bitcoin. So it's 130, 150. And again, in that time, an outperformance of Solana and ETH in the areas of up to 100%, right? Now, again, guys, this don't mean that it's just Solana ETH that's going to pump. The money's going to move. There's other categories in the large caps. There is things like Chainlink, right? And there is things in the gaming, and there is things like Cardano, right? And Dogecoin. These are all the ones, and it's quite ironic. If you look at all the altcoins that started breaking through major resistances yesterday, okay, they were falling in this category over here. They were the altcoins that are falling more into the large, which means that for long term, you should start looking a little bit in the bottom category. Take 2%, 3% of your capital, go buy some gaming, buy some AI, buy some of the other smaller little things, right? Because that's kind of what starts to step in next. But where the true focus is Ethereum and the large caps. Okay, let's jump in CPI. Let's have a look. So CPI is going to be a catalyst. They're actually expecting higher today, right? A higher percentage, which means yet again, if it hits 2.5, you'll see a small little short-term sneeze. Okay, and then you'll see things continue up. You'll basically see, remember, CPI comes out an hour before the markets open, right? So if we have a similar reading or maybe a little bit of higher reading, you'll get immediate effect, okay, on maybe CPI, maybe a little red candle to the downside. Okay, but then you'll see as the market opens, it will settle, and then 2-3 hours later, it will start to move up. You see these V shapes on 9 out of 10 times, you see them on the CPI, right? But what's quite interesting is we usually pump into CPI when you see those events, right? So we usually move up into CPI, then it comes with a short-term V, and then we start to rally through from up there. Today, we're kind of pre-dumping CPI. Very interesting. So I'm going to go through the two scenarios, but this is where it comes down to the percentages. Anything below 2.5 is going to look incredibly strong, right? And that's something that's saying, hey, maybe that's what the market maybe is looking at today, right? If we're pre-dumping, hey, you know, the market likes to do something completely opposite when it gets to the main event, right? Or when news starts to actually come out. So that's interesting. Don't be surprised if a 2.4 does come out and it actually sparks the market up pretty strong to the upside. So let's go through the events, and then I got a couple of altcoins to speak through to you guys. Okay, so I'm going to go through. Let's jump on over here and let's go through. So remember, Bitcoin is in a channel, guys. So yesterday, yet again, the support on Bitcoin is sitting at 108 to 109. That is where support is on Bitcoin. This is where Bitcoin is bouncing. This is where Bitcoin has strength. Therefore, yesterday you saw again, we dropped into the zone and we ripped up nice and strong into resistance. So what you have Bitcoin doing is it's kind of ranging, right? Now, it's cool that when Bitcoin ranges, it actually gives some hype to the altcoins, right? When Bitcoin's going sit and flat like this, altcoins start to rip out and start moving, right? But at some point, Bitcoin's going to make a decision. So yet again, if we want to pre-dump or CPI creates a dump, it is quite clear that I see us dumping into the zone over here and then pushing up again, right? Not too big. I don't think there's any big dumps on the cards right now. I really don't, right? I think the small dumps are in play and the big moves to the upside. We are trending again when it comes to the midterm, right? So if you see this over here, any dip-offs here, your buy zones are available, right? If they want to be cheeky, they'll drop it a little bit lower than the wick we made yesterday, because that will just stop out a bunch of people and irritate the bulls, right? Very, very, very clear. But I want to remind you that throughout these last 2 wicks, hey, my angel. What's that? Sorry, my daughter just walked in. 2 seconds. Is this your art? Is that your art? That's amazing. I love it. Daddy's going to quickly finish your show, and I'm going to come see you. Okay. All good, my angel. Love you. Okay, amazing. Let's jump back in. Okay, so again, if they want to be cheeky, remember that this dip off over here and that pump, right, neutralized the markets, right? Basically got rid of the longs in the market, got rid of the shorts. Now it's neutralized, and that's why I think the market's going to start trending nice and healthily again. Okay, so that's a dip. So let's look at the plays over here. Let's go into the short time frame, right, over here. Let's say that CPI is going to trap us. Right? This is what it kind of looks like. It looks like maybe the next hour or two, we actually push up a little bit. Okay? And then from that dip off, we will see once it dips off, it will settle for an hour or two, and then we'll start to see the bulls start to return. You'll probably see a higher high over there and a push, and at any point, we're going to break the highs. Right? And we're going to start moving. So that is the trap. That is if CPI comes in the areas of around 2.5 and the market doesn't like it, okay, or comes in maybe at 2.6. And we have that nice little trap off over there. If we want to look at bull scenario, what we'll see then happen is we'll basically see something like this. We'll see price start moving down into CPI over the next 2-3 hours. We'll see a short-term bounce, maybe some good news, a little trap, and then it will go. Okay, so that is my bull scenario when it comes to this. And if we really want to talk bullish, then obviously news comes out straight away. We sit here, we hover, and news comes out, and we just go. Right? That's another view. So this pullback for me is vital that there is opportunities right now for some buys. Let's go through them. The first buy that I think is vital in these areas over here, okay, is Dogecoin. Okay, so I think Dogecoin is now, if you look at this and if you see what I see as a chartist, right, you will see that Doge was fighting this damn resistance for some time, right? This for me is now coming into beautiful buy zones. Your buy zones are sitting here between the early mid 19 cents, okay, and you're sitting basically close to the 20-cent mark. This for me, that higher high ain't for nothing. That higher high broke this resistance, meaning that now it is support. Okay, remember, when the market starts trending up, get used to shorter pullbacks. Get used to push up, small pullback, push up, small pullback, push up, right? you start to see. But it all starts when it breaks an important resistance. That is when it starts. That's when it starts to move and starts to accelerate a lot quicker. So where we are here right now, okay, I think Dogecoin on this pullback right now, and if we have any more pullback in CPI, I think from these zones here, might even dip into the early 19 cents, and from here, we get ready for rocket ships. The next pump that I'm expecting is to get us back to the mid to the higher range part of things. I always speak about two ranges, the areas of where the 20% buy and the areas where the rest of the world buy, right? From here, at any point, I expect us moving into where the rest of the world wants to buy, right? Where a lot of hype starts to move in a lot quicker over here. So that's anywhere to the 24 to the 26 cent mark. Again, this is midterm on what can happen now the next 24, 48 hours, next 2-3 days, okay? High time frame. The bottom is so close to being in at any point now. We're going to then start the real main event, and that's when you're going to start to see altcoins move to the real mid ranges, and that's now back to the 30-40%. So a lot of these entries here, especially on spot, can be coiling you up for 100% move to the upside, right? So again, we have Dogecoin sitting beautifully in those entries. Let's speak about Solana, because I think Sol is coming to the entries. This is my play on Sol, guys. I am heavily loaded up on Sol. I see this one trade of mine's 216, and I have a lot of my personal trades in Solana right now. I'm actually really enjoying trading one coin at a time, more than many, many, many coins. I do also have a big ETH position on 𝗬𝗏𝗡. That's also printing nicely. So ETH and Sol are my two big ones right now. Okay, because once they take off, then you've got to kind of move to the next, right? Then you start moving your way down the list. But if we look at Sol, I think Sol broke the high, important high. And I want to show you what this high actually looks like, right? Let's go to another chart over here and just show you. So if you look here on the daily, okay, this daily now is now at this point, and I just want to show you, just get here, 2 secs. Why is my drawing staying over here? There we go. Okay. Okay, let's zoom in here. Here we go. We cracked through this important resistance. Now we're still there. That's why short-term pullback can happen, right? In these zones over here. Again, your buy zones are sitting this early $160 zone, right? Anywhere on this pullback. But this resistance where we popped our head through and actually broke the wall is indicating for me that Solana is getting ready for at any point to pump to $200, right? That's why for me, it's important now for this pullback. Again, I showed you what it looks like on the Bitcoin chart. And I also want to show you that to the Ethereum chart, because this is going to be a very, very crazy, I don't know, challenge between these two. We got two bullish tokens, right? And if you look at this over here, you could see that Sol is sitting on a 4-touch trend line support right now, right? So this is going to be an interesting battle. Who's going to be stronger, Solana or ETH over the next couple of weeks? They're both looking strong. They're both looking sexy, and they're both showing me an outperformance of Bitcoin of 100%. But if I look at this chart in specific, right, and let's go through a couple of small indicators here as well. Okay, I just want to see where the RSIs are sitting over here. Daily's through at the bottom there. Ooh, the Solana to ETH weekly is at the bottom. Interesting. Interesting. We might have Sol just slightly outperform ETH, right? Both looking strong as hell. But this is exciting. We have two of these alts. That's why me trading right now, I'm trading 2 coins. This is the way I'm trading it. A lot of my trades are in Solana right now, and I have some in ETH, right? But more trades are in Solana. Once Solana gets to the 220, 230, and then a shakeout happens, because again, after this next pop, I think there's a leverage wick incoming. I don't think it will affect buys that we are here, okay? But we definitely don't want to look for buys higher once the price goes. When that shakeout happens, I'm going to take profits on the next strong push up from Solana, and I'm going to actually build a ETH position. So I'm going to move between Sol and ETH over the next couple of weeks. That's going to be my 2 trading tokens. I don't need anything else. I have leverage that I can up and down there. I don't need any more moves. Those are the 2 coins that I'm choosing, and that's why I like to see how nice they are looking on the higher time frames. Looking very good over here as well. So that's interesting to see. So again, Sol is in top of buy zones now. Buy zones 160 to 165. Looking beautiful. Let's fly through a couple of the other coins. Cardano broke resistance. Out of resistance. We're in the buy zone now. Your buy zones are the early 70 to 72 cents buy zones, right? From here, we're getting ready for 80 to 90 cent push. Okay, so Cardano is looking Strong. Let's fly through the ones that we know. This is what I expect from Algo. Algo broke through the highs. Guys, these altcoins broke the highs yesterday. I don't think you understand the difference between yesterday and today. Today, we were sitting at resistance. Yesterday, we were sitting at resistance. Today, we are sitting at support. Right? That's the difference. The one is now, this is a pullback into strength. The other one was saying, we haven't confirmed the strength is yet. This is the confirmation. This is the strength we've been looking for. Right? There's Algorand sitting in those zones. I'll go through these quickly. AVAX broke the highs, coming into support. Injective, that's what I expect on Injective at any point. A pop. Ondo. Ondo's actually gone from the buys yesterday. No buys on Ondo right now. If it does drop to mid-80s, there's a buy, right? But I gave you guys this buy. Hope you're printing. Hope you're happy and excited. Fantastic. There's Nia. Let's go through a couple others. I want to speak about a couple of ETH-based tokens. And also I want to speak a little bit around the Solana-based tokens, right? Because this is kind of where the money's moving right now. If you look at things like Jito, look at that. Right, look at that. Nice move incoming over there. That's happened. And what's quite crazy is this leverage touching right now is a little bit scary because it's had a pump, so it's a little bit volatile. But when it comes to spot, you got to realize that we've broken this resistance here, pullbacks into this zone for spot. We're getting called up for a bigger move to the upper range here. Right, or the the $3.5 mark. So things like Jito are looking strong for some spot trades. Okay, you look at this. Look at Lido. Higher high, baby, into the zone. Lido's coming into great spot trades. Look at that. Zoom out. Understand where the hell we are. We are very far down on the high time frame. These are first early signs. Okay, the ETH ecosystem is waking up. Lido is pulling back into a buy zone. This one hasn't even broken out yet. Optimism. Keep an eye out. When this breaks out, it's going to start moving. Arbitrum, right? Breakouts and coming into retest. There's your buy zones on Arbitrum. Right, so keep this in mind. If you are a trader that wants to trade for money right now, trade the strength. Don't chase something that is red right now and you're going to wait for it to pump. Trade where you are going to make money. Okay, everything else that you believe is going to pump, buy them for the long term and be patient. They're all going to move in stages, but you want to make money, move to where the strength is. Couple of other tokens, guys, that I think are worth the buys. Okay, Superfarm. Superfarm has put in a nice midterm higher high, coming in for a retest. And I think at any point, Superfarm is not only going to push to the tops again, which is a nice, 20, 30%. I think we're going to start pushing to the middle range. I think this could be up to 100% entry over here. So your entry zones look like this on Superfarm, right? Here is your first zones. Again, the market might want to go trap that little bit lower, than the box that I built on Bitcoin. So what that means is we could even go slightly lower than this. So here's your zones here, the 70 cents to 72. We might even dip off to 68 to trap the market and go, right? Great spot entries. The next ones that I'm building spot entries on, and the buy zones are here between the 167 and the 1.7, 1.67 and 1.7 is Thorchain. I don't care what any of you say, right? I love Thorchain. I believe in them highly. They pumped hard the last couple of weeks, and I'm getting ready for a big move back to the $3 mark, right? So for me, they got through whatever they got through. Now they're sitting at the investment entry, so investing is also good. But trading-wise, I look at this now, a pop through its high, showing strength, looking for the retest and looking for the pop. Again, if the market wants to be cheeky, it'll drop a little bit low over here, and then we get going. That's why if it's leverage trades you are looking for today, you trade strength. This is spot entries because we don't care about the little 2% that they want to play and trick around in the market, right? But in leverage, that counts. 2% counts, right? It actually plays a big role, okay? But the rest of it, we don't care. So spot entries are vital, right? Another one that broke out yesterday, retesting, is Polygon. Polygon dropping to the zone, looking for a pop to the higher 20% mark. Okay, guys, let's clarify. Let's go through over here. Again, I see people are trading on the 𝗬𝗏𝗡 competition. Guys, we have a 𝗬𝗏𝗡 competition and $5,000 on the line. It's a Sheldon the Sniper trading competition. I see we have 40 participants. Go to the link below and you will find the not only a 𝗬𝗏𝗡 link if you want to take part and you don't have an exchange account, there is sign-up bonuses and a get you a free school. Incredible, right? But there's a trading comp that's happening. 10 days left. Go fight your way. It's between each other. It's all friendly fire. We love each other. go whip each other's butts. Like, let's go, right? You know how me and Rand like to shave my head, eat fish, and do these type of things? Trust me, it's fun. Keeps the dopamine high, right? And here's free cash. Again, there's no limits. I think it's $100 or something to trade with. And you can see we currently have this person as the leader right now. So there is a nice competition going on with 𝗬𝗏𝗡 at this point. Okay, let's go through the 2 plays on Bitcoin. If we pre-dump, it looks something like this, right? If we start pumping the next 2 hours, it looks something like this, where we pump up. Let me just show you again. I talk and do so much drawings in my shows, and then I ruin my momentum. Okay, up, down, boom, go. Right? Again, I am not hesitating to buy Doge here right now. I don't care about the small percentages because, again, if something happens great with CPI, I wouldn't be surprised for rocket ships to the upside. Guys, I will see your sexy asses tomorrow. Okay, bring your coffee, bring your vibes, bring everything. And again, new altcoins to be released. Get focused on buys today. We're on the red side again. And tomorrow we focus on obviously TP levels and what is going to pop next. Have a fantastic day. See you later. And remember, if you want to join Club, I have an event today with Club when the market's opening. So once the craziness has happened, I'm live with Club. If you still want to join that, right? It's a private event. You can still join Club now before the stream and make it. Lots of love. See you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye.